Here is the starting defensive unit for the Caravan of Mount Carmel of Chicago. The head coach of Mount Carmel is Bill Bars. At left end, number 43, a 5'9" junior, Steve Eck. At left tackle, number 66, a 6-foot senior, Brian McDonough. At right tackle, number 75, a 6'1" junior, Mike Beneturski. At right end, a 5'11" senior, number 88, Terry Van Arkel. At nose guard, number 51, a 5'10" senior, Marty Walsh. At linebacker, number 58, a 6'1" junior, Tony Furjanic. At linebacker, number 59, a 5'8" junior, Rich Mosier. At defensive back, number 33, a 5'9" senior, Mike Novickus. At defensive back, number 40, a 5'7" senior, Dave Ortiz. At strong safety, number 38, a 5'11" senior, Ed Barkowski. And at safety, number 45, a 5'7" senior, Darren Martin. The starting defense for Chicago Mount Carmel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the number 8 with great pride to that 67 team. But these kids want to make a mark of their own. The skies have become overcast. The sun has been hidden away, which has lowered the temperature, along with that bone-chilling wind out of the south. The wind is about 15 to 20 miles an hour going straight across this field from the right of your screen to the left of your screen. Mount Carmel will kick it up. Number 70, John Lonkar in position, back to receive. Number 10, Jim Casper on the near side. Far side, number 33, Kevin Reardon. About ready for the first 12 minutes of what promises to be one heck of a battle for the Class 5A championship. And we're underway. It is Reardon back at his own 1, straight ahead. The 20 tripped up at the 21-yard line. On the tackle was number 40, Dave Ortiz for Mount Carmel. Setting up now, Hinsdale South's offense. Quarterback number 14, Paul Palandic. An up-and-down season, has really come into his own in the playoffs. Fullback Mike McBain. We've got a lot to talk about him. A very talented junior. The tailback Jim Casper he is the second-string quarterback. Came in and played quarterback at times during the season. The flanker back is 89, Jim Brown. He's in motion to the far side of the field. On the draw to McBain. He has a hole, and he runs head-on into Joe Baker at the 31-yard line. Gain on the play of about 5 yards, brings up 2nd and 5. There's another one of those picture-perfect draws, Coach Sismorian.
No question about that. They had their back set real wide in their wide pro set that time, and they just ran the draw very, very well.
Backs now in an I formation behind Palandic. The pitch goes to Casper. He cuts back in, spins across the 35, gets up to the 33. On the stop was Rich Mosier, the linebacker, number 59. And we're going to take another look at this pitch sweep.
Guards got out in front very well that time. Those pulling guards are very, very key. That's the old Green Bay Packer sweep, if you want to call that, only off a pitch instead of a handoff.
It's a first down, 1st and 10 at the Hinsdale South 38-yard line, just underway, first quarter at Illinois State University. Straight inside handoff goes to McBain. He came into the ball game the leading rusher for Hinsdale South, 171 carries, 1,191 yards. He has scored 86 points. He is their bread and butter man, no doubt about it. Again, Palandic had a 271-yard passing performance against Sterling in the first round game. A ball game in which the Hornets won 24-14. They went on to defeat Glenbard West in an impressive game in the quarterfinals, 37-9. Beat Rockford West in the semifinals, 18-6. 2nd and 7. Palandic decides to keep. He is hit hard, bounces off the tackles, and goes up to the 41.
That was what we call a lead option all the way. The quarterback just rolled out. He still had the option man to pitch to. They also pulled the offside guard on that play. John Katzens was out there leading the play.
Mike Benatursky, the left tackle, number 75, in there to meet him, as well as Tony Furjanic, number 58, the linebacker. He is the leading Mount Carmel tackler with 93 tackles. He also leads in tackles for loss with 13 for the Mount Carmel Caravan. It is third down, 5 yards to go from the 43. Play action pass for Palandic. Throws near side. It is complete at the 49-yard line.
Going to have a first down on that. And that time, Mount Carmel went into a 5-3 defense. Passing situation with approximately 6 yards to go.
It was complete to Jeff McBain, number 25. Well-timed passing play gives the Hornets a first down. They are driving. First time in Mount Carmel territory at the 49, 1st and 10. It's the draw again, the Casper. He heads to the outside around Van Arkel. He's finally run out of bounds on the far side of the field by Darren Martin. What a move that Casper put on number 88, Terry Van Arkel, to sweep to the outside, get another first down, and Hinsdale South is rolling.
The Mount Carmel linebackers were way back off the line that time, anticipating a pass, and that's what sets up that draw play very well.
168 pounds and very quick. Neither of these coaches strangers in their college career to football. Dave Smith of Hinsdale is from Purdue. Bill Bars of Mount Carmel out of Notre Dame.
9:16 to go, first quarter. Inside handoff to McBain. He's met immediately at the line of scrimmage and driven back. He'll get no gain on the play. It'll make it 2nd down and 10. Paul Palandic has got about 600 yards of offense in the playoffs, the 3 games. Really come into his own. He had such an up and down season that at times they brought in Casper, who engineered a couple of key drives. Also with Casper in there, who is also a quarterback as a running back, number 10, he gives you that added dimension, that option dimension. 2nd and 10. Ball at the Caravan 35. Palandic decides to pitch it back to Casper. He is brought down at the 45 by number 38, Ed Bartkowski.
That was
no gain.
That was the same play they had run previously, only to the left. They came back to the right or the wide side of the field. They like a lot of running room on that.
We'll be kind to give him a yard on the play. 3rd and 9. Here's a key play right off the bat. One of many we're going to have today, I guarantee you, but Hinsdale South has looked tough. Mount Carmel's defense looked a little bit disorganized, but it looks like they're stiffening up right now.
Mount Carmel back in a 5-3 defense.
Play action pass. Quick pop pass, batted around, and I know it's incomplete. I thought it might have been intercepted by Darren Martin. It was batted around so many times, I thought we were at the volleyball championships.
Little quick fake into the line.
It looks like Martin got a piece of it.
Well thrown ball in that particular situation. The defender had the offensive man very well covered.
After that, it was Barnum and Bailey all the way. 7:47 to go, first quarter, no score. 4th and 9, and Hinsdale's going to go for it. They're running right now against the wind. They fake the draw, fake the pass. Now it's Casper who has the reception. 30, 25, following is blocking down to the 22-yard line. First down, Hinsdale South, and what a gutsy call. They did everything but going to the stands for popcorn on that play.
Excellent play selection, and they faked the screen to the left, faked the draw, and then they came back with a screen to the right. Excellent job of setting the play up.
That big offensive line of theirs getting off the ball so fast you barely have time to close your eyes. They're tough.
It's been a while since I've seen a quarterback do that many things on a single play.
Excellent
handoff, make a short pass. It's 1st and 10 on the Mount Carmel 22. As it gives on an inside reverse to number 81, Art Savala. Linebacker Rich Mosier, number 59, a 5'8", 180-pound junior, makes the stop.
Well, we've seen an awful lot of offense already from Hinsdale in the short period of time that they've had the ball. They just kept moving on down the field with it, and that gutsy call, as you said, on 4th and 9 certainly was the key in this series.
And they're working against the wind. We don't like to be redundant, but it is a major factor because the wind is very strong.
That's why you're up here. 2nd and 8 from the 20. Casper has it, tries to find some room, but there is nothing but brown shirts, as that play seemed to be doomed to failure from the start. Marty Walsh, number 51, the first man in there on the play itself. But watch the defensive line penetrate. Let's see what we have going in there. 59 comes up, Rich Mosier. And Steve Eck, number 43.
The defensive end is the man who put the pressure on that play, Steve Eck, and he is the key. Couldn't see what you can do with these Mount Carmel defensive ends, because they're the ones that are putting the pressure on.
Look at that wide formation.
Not a lot of size on that Mount Carmel defensive line either. Biggest guy is 190. Palandic rolling, cuts inside the block, keeps it inside the 20. Not enough for the first down, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hinsdale South went on 4th and 14 right now, the way they're hot. It'll bring a 4th down situation with 5:45 to go. Paul Palandic.
Going to be about 4th and 4, Tom.
And I would tend to think if they went on 4th and 9, that Dave Smith's going to say, let's go ahead and do it on 4th and 4. Let's see if they pull out anything out of their bag of tricks on the razzle-dazzle. They like to option, they like to sweep, they like to reverse.
Well, I would like to think they might come back up with that screen pass again of some type and get that penetration.
4th and 4 from the 16.
Maybe a draw.
First penalty of the game.
Delay of game, I believe.
Yep. Well, that certainly makes things a little bit different. Goes from 4th and 4 to 4th and 9.
Now, you're the coach, Mr. Samorian. Does that change your call?
It certainly does change your call, and Dave Smith has already sent the play in, what he once called, and you hate to see things like that happen, particularly when you get down close to that goal line, because...
Did you see what was developing here on this other one? Was that a draw play or was that a pass?
No, I think they were going to screen off to this side.
This drive has gone almost 7 minutes. It is 4th and 9 from the Mount Carmel 21. Fake the handoff. Palandic in trouble. Goodbye. Back at the 42-yard line, 58, Tony Perjanik came into the ball game as Mount Carmel's leading tackler for losses with 13 for a total of 78 yards. He has 93 tackles. Let's watch it again.
What a monstrous loss. Look.
I can see why. He was their right linebacker, and he came on a cross pattern in there, cross defensive pattern. He and the nose guard crossed in there, and he was able to throw him for a loss. No one picked him up.
A big psychological plus for Mount Carmel. Big drive for Hinsdale. Came away empty on the scoreboard. 1st and 10 from the 35. It's Andre Carter. His first carry of the game. Excuse me.
Carter's certainly an exciting runner. This boy, I tell you, can't give him much room because he's going to be gone.
They have the quickness advantage, Mount Carmel, here, but there's a 29-pound per man line advantage going to Hinsdale South.
Hinsdale South across that front four, 220 at Hollandaller. McHugh is 253. Pauls is 235. Sronowski is the little guy at 200. Power I left formation. Quarterback Ray Gronowski keeps it. Breaks free, squirts up for a couple of yards, head across the 40 to about the 44. This is, it's been so long since the opening kickoff, I forgot to realize this is Mount Carmel's first offensive drive of the game. This is the first time we've seen Ray Gronowski and Andre Carter.
Anytime you can control that ball for 8 minutes, you're in very good shape. Here we see Mount Carmel again, faking their outside belly, and then the quarterback just keeping the ball.
Gain on the play for Carter of 7 yards on his correction for Carter, 5 yards. Make it. That'll break us up a 3rd and 3 on the 42. 3:47 to go, first quarter, no score between Mount Carmel and Hinsdale South. It's Carter, and he dives just enough to get the first down. He had to get to the 45, and he got to the 45 and a half.
He's going to have the first down.
Yep. Andre Carter, 6 feet even, 195 pounds senior, doesn't need a lot of room through the line to break free. And Bill Bars told me he's a threat to go forever anytime he touches that football.
He certainly is, and he's the one I think he's going to be the game breaker for him.
He averages 5.9 yards a carry, 179 carries for 1,067 yards. And it's Carter again, straight ahead through the right side of the offensive line up to the midfield stripe. By the way, that was Mount Carmel's first down. Carter now 3 carries, 12 yards. Gronowski as a passer. Not great passing stats. He's only attempted 55 passes, completed 19. Why pass when you don't have to, is what Bill Barr said. They haven't had to all year. 2nd and 5. Long count. And it's Carter again. Just following the blocking, going straight ahead into Hinsdale South territory. Number 81, Art Savela on the stop.
I'll tell you, Mount Carmel is beating Hinsdale on the line of scrimmage right now.
There you see Carter already with his 4th carry, 16 yards, a perfect 4 yards a carry average. Keep doing that, you're going to be very successful, Coach.
Yes, sir. Mount Carmel, as I mentioned, is beating Hinsdale to the punch right on the offensive line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1 here. Let's see what the call is.
Straight ahead. Gronowski as a runner gets the first down. He is averaging 4.7 yards a carry, which is not bad at all for a quarterback.
I'll take it anytime I get 4.7 out of anyone.
Because remember, was it Babel in our first game, the 4A, on the season had netted 5 yards out of 46 carries?
He gained that much in that one pass play that he ran.
It's 1st and 10, 2nd first down for the Caravan at the Hinsdale South 43. The pitch goes to number 45, Darren Martin. And Art Savela, number 81, comes up and shuts that drive off. For the first time in a while, Coach, they decide to go wide.
Well, they tried to go wide. They pulled their offensive right guard that time, and I think the key to beating Hinsdale right now, from what I've seen thus far, is run straight at them. Don't give them the opportunity to pursue. Otherwise, that sideline is going to tackle you. 81
Savela plays both ways. Plays as a tight end on offense. He's playing pretty darn good so far as a defensive back on defense. 1:04 to go, first quarter, still no score. Gronowski, he's going to keep it. He backs his way, struggles his way down to the 40-yard line for a gain of about 3 or 4. Correction, make it 7 yards on the gain. He's now carried the ball 3 times for 13 yards. I wonder if he ever intended to pass the ball, Coach.
It doesn't look like it. I think he just held that thing up there to see if he can get those defensive backs to drop back off a little more.
As a team passing, the odds are Mount Carmel's not going to pass. They only average 20.9 yards a game passing. Gronowski. He is going to dance and keep dancing and runs out of room at the 39-yard line. Brought down by linebacker John Brown, number 66, a 6'1", 215-pound junior.
He called, Bill, I think, made a real smart move that time. He called timeout, 14 seconds left. He can either throw now or kick the football.
You want it?
I think he would punt the football and get Hinsdale South.
Okay, 14 seconds to go in the first quarter. No score in the Class 5A championship. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company.
Why should you switch to Diphenate corn rootworm insecticide? Here are 4 good reasons. 1, dependable, proven rootworm control. 2, no rootworm resistance in over 12 years. 3, concentrated and easy to use. 4, protects your corn from more soil pests. All good reasons why Diphenate is your best value in rootworm control. Next season, switch to Diphenate rootworm insecticide. Diphenate.
Well, learn and live, huh, kid? Learn and live.
Coached his Spartans to the first Class 5A championship back in 1974. It's 4th and 6, time running out in the first quarter, and we'll have our first punt of the game from Mount Carmel. Back is Joe Malakowski, number 90. And he's trying for the corner, but football takes a bounce back in towards the field, goes to the end zone, and will change possession. As Hinsdale South will take it over on its own 20-yard line. No score in the 5A battle between Hinsdale South and Mount Carmel. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
You can depend on Myrtle for an egg every day.
And Vigor from XL 55A.
You can depend on Grandma for the best cherry pie.
And XL 55A to be dry. You can depend on Clara for a calf every May. And big yields with XL 55A.
You get Yield Plus from DeKalb.
Magnavox is introducing the newest kind of television, Magnavision. This Magnavision laser scanner, this video disc, and your TV set work together. You get slow motion, reverse, freeze frame, even stereo capability. Discs include movies, lessons, and concerts. Magnavision from Magnavox.
The brightest ideas in the world are here to play.
Say Magnavision at Go Blast.
We have just 6 seconds to go in the opening quarter of the 5A championship. Hinsdale South about to take over and start another drive. 1st and 10 from its own 20. Its last drive went almost 8 minutes, but came away empty at the scoreboard. So Paladic puts him down. Single man in the backfield is Mike McBain. He gets the call, has the hole across the 25, cuts in at the 30, and stumbles up to the 35-yard line. What a quick runner, Mike McBain. The speed he showed right on that play.
Well, Mike is certainly an excellent runner, as he's been all year, and he has certainly picked up the yardage for Hinsdale.
Okay, that is the end of the first quarter. No score between Mount Carmel and Hinsdale South. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Jim Taylor has never thought about insurance, but his parents have. So there'd always be the financial security to let Jim climb to the top, to be the best he can be. There are lots of families like Jim's in Illinois, and Country Companies have been providing them with all kinds of insurance for over 50 years. Country Companies, proud to be serving the people of Illinois, proud to be a sponsor of IHSA sports telecasts.
Hi, I'm John Biner, hosting some really big shoes on the Best of Sullivan, which stars the Rolling Stones, Richard Pryor, the Bee Gees, Peter Sellers, Lucille Ball, the Mamas and the Papas, Diana Ross, Ed Sullivan himself, and of course your host, me, all on the Best of Sullivan.
A WGN television special, Sunday night at 6:30 here on Channel 9.
Well, we see there the cheerleaders from Hinsdale South High School about ready to start the second quarter. No score. It's 1st and 10 for the Hornets. We see the time of possession in that first quarter. That's got to be somewhat good for Mount Carmel to know that their defense was on the field that long and came away by shutting out Hinsdale South. On the 1st and 10, it is McBain once again punching his way out to the 40-yard line.
We got a flag down. I would say it's going to be probably an offensive holding call.
Not entirely surprising either. We had a scoreless first quarter with these two teams allowing only 6 points per game.
As we mentioned before, the key to this game is going to be right up front, how well Mount Carmel can contain Hinsdale's offense. So with those big linemen up there, Hinsdale certainly has the advantage, I would think, at running straight at Mount Carmel.
We looked at the Mount Carmel, or the Hinsdale South cheerleaders for a moment there. Those included Anne-Marie Teisel, Jean Ludicky, Leslie Bates, Julie Roche, Sue Young, and Pam Pazilopoulos.
So they step off 5 against the Hornets. Correction, make it 15 biggies.
15 biggies
the
on the holding
takes
call,
big
right?
steps, I guess. 1st and 25, Hornets on their own 20. Give us to McBain. Straight ahead, punching it up to the 23. McBain, the workhorse.
Well, McBain has carried the ball 171 times for 1,191 yards. He's also scored 86 points.
And so far, he's got 28 yards in 5 carries. Over a 5-yard a carry average. Gain of 3 on that play. 2nd down, 22 from the Hornet 23. Paladic fakes that pass. He's being pursued, throws it to McBain, off his shoulder pads, incomplete.
He either had footsteps or he just looked away. He took his eyes off the ball too quickly and started heading upfield with it because he was wide open. You'll see he has will have blockers out in front of him. Hinsdale South did an excellent job of setting up this screen.
And you see he just goes off his fingertips. You see his head was already turned upfield. He never saw the pass into his hands, the thing that usually happens.
He was like a ballet dancer. They turn that head before they make their move, and he just turned his head too quickly before he had the football.
Incomplete pass makes it 3rd and 22, Hinsdale. There's the option from Casper. Broken up. Good defensive play by Dave Ortiz, number 40. That's the first time we've seen that option.
Yes, Mount Carmel certainly had the play scouted, and they know that Hinsdale South is capable of doing this.
No doubt about that one.
Watch Ortiz, only 5'7", nearly got that one.
He came in, he played the ball very, very well.
So that'll set up a punting situation, and Casper is the man back to punt. No rush at all. Carmel trying to set up a return. With it is Douglas Brewster, number 83, and he is brought down at the 41. That's where the Caravan will take it over. 1st and 10, 10:49 to go, 2nd quarter. So far, we've seen the football moved up and down the field quite a bit, but there's 2 goose eggs on the scoreboard.
Both the coaches talked before the game about breaks and mistakes as being key factors in this game, and you can see why. Both have good contained defenses.
A note on Dave Ortiz, who broke up that pass play. He was pressed into the defensive back role about 5 games ago. He's been doing such a great job that they left him there. The man down on the field is Mike McBain for Hinsdale South. And should he be forced out of the lineup, that would be a big blow to the Hornets' hopes. It happened on the return. There you see Brewster. And it happened as McBain was caught up in the... McBain was caught in the pileup there on the tackle. Looks like he may have twisted his leg or his ankle as he fell down. He is up. He appears to be okay, but he'll come off the field and they'll check him over just to make sure. McBain on the day on offense, 5 carries, 28 yards. He is the workhorse for the Hinsdale South Hornets. Also their leading scorer. But the Caravan of Mount Carmel will take it over, 1st and 10 at its own 42. Gronowski gives to Carter. He twirls and whirls his way across the 45 to the 46. He shows a lot of moves.
He sure does, and he has some moves. Andre Carter has carried the ball 5 times for 20 yards.
And he's the kind of guy that can carry it once for 6.
Yes, he can go all the way for 6, right.
Points, not yards.
From anywhere on the field.
You get that big 6 for you.
2nd and 6 after a gain of 4 yards. Gronowski keeps it, and he turns upfield and is tripped up at midfield. And that's where they're going to spot the ball. Not enough for the first down. It'll make it about 3rd down and 2 yards to go. He decided he wanted to keep this one all the way. Play action.
Excellent faking in the backfield that time. They faked the power to Carter. And Gronowski just kept the football.
3rd down and 2, Thomas.
Well,
time for you armchair quarterbacks. Pick one.
Goes to Carter. There it goes. And he has not got enough. Nope. He is about a half a yard shy. Mark Hollendonner, number 74. A wee lad of 6'4", 220 pounds. I know some colleges who don't have guys that big.
They're going to take a measurement. Just the wee lad, huh?
Like I say, on that defensive line for Hinsdale South, Hollendonner, 6'4", 220. McHugh, the left tackle, 5'11", 253. 3 different times this year, McHugh has had 13 solo tackles. You see they're short of the first down. The right tackle, Bill Pauls, is 6'4", 235. The right end, Ed Sronowski, 6 foot even, 200 pounds. He's the baby. And interesting note is that those 2 tackles, McHugh and Pauls, are deaf. Hinsdale South handles the special education program for DuPage County, and McHugh and Pauls are deaf. They've had some key sacks for their team. On 4th down, straight ahead goes Gronowski, and they'll untangle the bodies, sort out the football players and see just where that football lies.
I would say they have it where they marked it right.
They got it.
Just by about the length of the football. Here we see on the replay, you'll notice the two officials on either side, the two wingmen, they are the ones who spot the ball, who mark the ball for the forward progress.
So the Caravan keeps the drive alive. First down department. Carmel 3, Hinsdale South with 5. On first 10, Gronowski keeps it again. He's got some room if he can get by the one man. He's at the 40, forced out of bounds at the 38. He really put some speed in getting around linebacker John Brown. Ray Gronowski, 6'2", 192-pound senior.
People leading the cheers for Mount Carmel as you look at this replay with Gronowski. Mary Cullinan, Cindy Hubbard, Julie Wilson, Carrie Drew, Meg Raymond, Sue Campbell, Christine Mukna, Charmaine Ricks, and June Schultz.
Little stiff arm never hurt there either for Gronowski.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good-sized athlete, that young man, and he ran the option, really the outside belly option, very, very well.
And they're going to bring the chains from all the way across the field with 8:54 to go. We've got no score. Tom Stalker, along with Frank Pisoni and Glenbrook North coach Harold Salmorian, bringing you all the action from Hancock Stadium, Illinois State University, on a windy and brisk, chilly day. That wind just cuts right through you.
First down.
What about the length of the ball, Coach?
No, about the white stripe.
I'll tell you, I don't know whether you gentlemen mentioned this as I made my way up from the field, but there's two Catholic League teams in finals in tonight's action with Mount Carmel and both Gordon Tech. That's the first time one conference has sent two teams into playoffs.
Although the IHSA will take exception with you. They say according to their bylaws and everything, that action that should be separate conferences because they divided up into sections.
Yes, north and south. Okay.
First and 10 for the Caravan. On the Hinsdale South 38, Carter gets over one man and dives ahead.
Good second effort there by Carter. He's tough to bring down.
Well, you mentioned the conferences, and of course this year there's a different format for the playoff in that once a school won their conference, they were placed into the classification by their school enrollment, and that is the reason that I'm sure that Mount Carmel and Gordon Tech were placed in different classifications.
There you see the brain trust. Bill Barr is on the phones in the middle as his team has 2nd and 5 on the 33. 8:18 to go. Pitch to Carter. He has blocking. Ortiz leads the way at the 20. Reads his blocks and goes on his feet inside the 10. Keeps dancing down to the 5-yard line. And what a thrilling, electrifying run that Andre Carter just turned in.
You got an injured player down on the field.
Andre Carter, Bill Barr says very simply, as far as he's concerned, he's the best running back in the state. He doesn't need much room to turn out some long gainers. He runs with lots of power.
Watch him go.
Blocked by Ortiz. Schwanowski's played off the play there. 25 comes up. Amazing play by Andre Carter.
Yeah, I think it's Swarnowski who is the injured player down on the field, the defensive end from Hinsdale.
You've got it. And it looks like it's an ankle, possibly. He's limping away. 6 foot, 200-pound senior end.
On that carry for Carter, give him 23 yards and give Mount Carmel its 5th first down.
Attaboy, look at that youngster enjoying this thing. He's dressed for it, you see.
Hey, nothing like cotton candy. And I mean it, nothing like cotton candy. 8:04 to go. 1st and goal from the 7. Mount Carmel with the scoring threat. They give to Carter. Dances his way, touchdown.
Oh, he's a piece of work.
Yes, sir, he certainly is.
Oh, what an amazing runner he has turned out to be for Mount Carmel this year. Came in with over 1,000 yards, averaging 5.9 yards a carry, and he has turned in 2 brilliant runs in a row. Watch this. The block by Ortiz, the block by the pulling guard, Verjanik, number 58. And there's nothing Hinsdale South can do on that play.
Get out the records book, folks. He's got 61 yards and 9 carries, and we have 8 minutes and a second left to go in the first half.
We have got a timeout on the field called by Mount Carmel as they decide whether they want to go for 1 or 2 on the extra point.
Kicking tee just went off the field, so I assume that they're going to go for the 2 points.
Well, they want to set the pace early. We have 8 minutes, 1 second to go in the second quarter. As Andre Carter has just scored from 7 yards out. Again, 9 carries, 61 yards.
A lot of college coaches and scouts drooling over the prospects of that young man, Harold Samora, and you've coached some college and pro stars.
Well, not really. We haven't had too many boys go on college scholarships. We just don't have that big a boy, and we've had a lot of very intelligent young men, and we just haven't had that many athletes down here. We're going to look at the power eye setup again.
And it's Carter. Who else? He's tripped up in the backfield.
He certainly played that very well.
Getting through there, number 31, Bob Rakowski. And so, the 2-point try comes away empty. We've got 8 minutes, 1 second to go. Mount Carmel leads 6-0. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company.
Quackgrass. Wild cane. Eradicane in combinations controls the tough yield-robbing weeds in corn. Nutsedge. Velvet leaf. Eradicane controls these and other tough weeds in corn. That's right, even the toughest ones, like quackgrass. Eradicane for the toughest weeds in corn.
The gill straps aren't really moving. They're being robbed.
Dad, aren't the gill straps in Toledo?
I think they're being robbed. Should we call the police? Hey, smart neighbors. If they don't tell the cops now, the gill straps will have to tell them later. You know what it takes to stop a crime? Your help. And your neighbors. Find out more. Write to Box 6600 Rockville, Maryland, and help take a bite out of crime.
Caravan of Mount Carmel has taken the first lead in the ball game, 6-0 behind the brilliant running of number 26, Andre Carter. Just a simply superb runner, already with 61 yards in the ball game. We're not even halfway through the second quarter, and I think I hear the sound of a lot of college scouts drooling in the stadium.
We were just talking about that during the timeout, and if you saw that sign along the way, this is it, Caravan, 80-81 state champions, and they certainly got the spirit to go along with them.
Yeah, they're calling it the Miracle on 64th Street. How about that?
On our injury reports, gentleman Mike McBain, who went out, a slight ankle sprain, probably will return to action. Soranowski, who you saw last, a right ankle sprain, and they'll check at halftime to see if he'll return in the second half.
On that scoring drive for Mount Carmel, the Caravan went 59 yards in 8 plays, taking 2 minutes, 48 seconds, culminating on a pretty 7-yard run by Andre Carter, set up by his 23-yard run.
I don't know what type of a kicker Mount Carmel has, and that may have been in their decision to go for the 2 points there because of the fact that the wind is really blowing on the south at a good 20-25 miles an hour.
You know, Carter in the Caravan's 28-8 win over Joliet Catholic, the perennial Class 4A power. He had a 74-yard touchdown run and a 95-yard touchdown run. On the kickoff, picked off by the short man. And they get it up to the 35, 37-yard line. Number 33, Kevin Reardon, the man who returned that kick.
And Tom, I'm sure that was no mistake to kick a ground ball there. I know that Coach Bars knows that this wind has been hanging up kicks that get up in the air.
That, plus the fact that if it hits this AstroTurf here, it'll bounce around. It gets a high bounce, and it's really hard to handle coming off the turf.
There you see Dave Smith trying to get his Hornets back into this ball game. They trail 6-0, 7:41 to go, second quarter. 1st and 10 from the Hornets 37. Palandic wants to throw, and he puts it up, deflected off the hands of the intended receiver, number 25, Jeff McBain, one of the McBain brothers. He's the older brother, Jeff. Mike McBain's the junior. And in 2 years at Hinsdale South, Mike McBain has accounted for 1,846 yards. You don't think they're not going to be glad to have Mr. McBain back in Hinsdale South next year?
I'd like to have him back any year, not just next year. I'll tell you, he's a very talented young man, and that pass was right on the money.
Jeff is the senior. Mike is the lone man in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Palandic under pressure. He gets the pass off. Incomplete, intended for Savala. There goes a penalty marker. I think they're going to call pass interference on number 88, Terry Van Arkel, on the pass play. Coming in to put pressure on Palandic was the nose guard, number 51, Marty Walsh.
I think the call is going to be defensive holding because that pass is behind the line, so it can't be pass interference. It'll be defensive holding on the call.
Thanks, Coach. Hey, you know the rule book. That's the coach's department. 7:25 to go. Penalty against the defense, the Caravan.
We call that one right, and we checked with Norm Geske, who's up here in the booth with us, and it will be not pass interference because it was committed behind the line of scrimmage. It was defensive holding. It's still a 15-yard penalty, which really gets Hinsdale South out of the hole, and it's also a first down.
And it gives the Hornets the ball, 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line. That is the 6th first down for the Hornets. First one by a penalty. Again, McBain is the only man in the backfield, and he is offset in the backfield. 2 men split wide to the far side of the field. McBain gets the pitch, cuts inside the blocking, keeps going inside the 40 to the 39. Finally brought down by Tony Furjanic, number 58.
He is quick, and if he's got a bad ankle, you never know it on that run. He can move that football.
For 6 feet even, 200 pounds, McBain is showing a lot of speed. Watch it. Straight pitch. He cuts back in instead of sweeping.
There were a lot of people open on that play, including 34, Ed Winkle, who comes in as a flanker and end, and Hinsdale's moving the football.
Gain of 9. McBain with 38 yards and 6 carries. Palandic pitches it back to Casper, and he is piled up at the 40-yard line. Loose ball. They're going to call it Mount Carmel football.
Mount Carmel plays that swarming defense. They play a 52. They play their linebackers off. Here we'll see it on the replay.
It happens after he's hit. Right there.
Option play. Good hit again. And you see there are a lot of brown shirts around that football.
That is the 31st fumble caused by Mount Carmel. And so the defense gives the ball over to the offense at the Caravan 41, 6:25 to go. Mount Carmel with the ball and a 6-0 late fumble on the snap, and Gronowski goes down to the turf. He'll lose a couple on that one. I think the temperature's out there. Of course, we were out there for the pregame. It's bone chilling. The exposed flesh, the hands, they can't be sensitive to hold on to that football, and plus the football is hard itself.
Sid, it's 47 degrees, they say, but the wind chill factor is significantly lower than that, especially down on the field. Just holding the microphone, it's hard to move your fingers.
I think the way these kids are pumped up, the fact that they're hitting hard out there, I think that's the key to the fumbling. Not so much that the hands are cold or anything like that, but they're really popping out there.
And the call goes to Darren Martin, who on the season carried the ball only 19 times. He is dropped by Mark Hollendonner, number 74. Martin only 167 yards on the season and 19 carries.
Watch John Braun get it on this too, 66.
Also up there, 21, Mike Stoltz. So we're going to call that a gain of 1. Martin has 2 carries for 1 total yard. Backs in an eye behind Ray Gronowski, the fullback Ortiz, number 40, the tailback Carter. We'll be seeing a lot of him the rest of the way, I know that for sure. And Carter gets the call. Can't find a lot of room, and he is stacked up and pushed back. Gets up maybe a yard or two to the 41, 42-yard line.
Hinsdale's fired up now. They're coming after him. And boy, those Hinsdale fans down below us, they're going wild. They're up cheering those guys on.
Give him a couple of yards. Carter already 10 carries, 63 yards, but it's 4th down, and Mount Carmel's going to have to pump that football. Joe Malkowski, number 90, will do the punting chores. Number 34 back to receive it.
And they're going to have to punt it in this wind.
Is Eddie Winkle waiting back at his own 25. 4:27 to go in the first half. Mount Carmel leading 6-0, and a good boot considering it's into the wind. Winkle has it at the 31. Tries to find somewhere to go. Gets absolutely nowhere, maybe a yard or two, and so Hinsdale South takes it over, 1st and 10 from its own 32-yard line.
Hinsdale South has 4:15 left to go in the quarter, in the half, and they can certainly put some points on the board, I'm sure, with their offense.
Well, they had a very impressive drive, Sam Samorian, to start things off in the first quarter. Came away empty, and I still go back and stand on what I said. I think it was a psychological plus for Mount Carmel.
Oh, no question about that, particularly the fact that Mount Carmel didn't gain possession of the ball until almost 7 minutes of play had gone by.
Palandic throwing a little soft one. It's complete. Called incomplete. Brutal hit by number 33, Mike Novickas. The intended receiver, Art Zavala. What a hit applied by a 5', 965-pound senior. Mike Novickas, 45 tackles on the year. And one of the Hornets is flat on his back. It's Rob McKenzie right at the Hinsdale South bench.
Well, the ball in...
on that play,
the ball in the tackler, Novickas got there just about the same time, and he delivered a nice shoulder tackle up high, and I'm sure that caused it.
Take a look. Coming into the game, Novickas has broken up 6 passes, make it 7 on this one.
Just off the edge of your screen right there, you can see the pop just as he catches the ball. Perfectly legal, but it was kind of one of those blindside things where he didn't see the tackler coming. He's up. He's going to be okay. Probably got the wind knocked out of him.
3 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd and 10 will be the situation for the Hornets from their own 33-yard line. They trail 6-0 here at Hancock Stadium, Illinois State University, on a brisk afternoon. Now under the lights. 2nd and 10. Play action pass. Palandic just dumps it off in the general direction of Zavala. Mount Carmel fans across the way want to dump intentional grounding call, but no way. Applying the pressure, number 43, defensive lineman Steve Eck. Palandic has completed only 2 of 7 attempts for 13 yards. And again, he had that 271-yard passing performance in the first-round playoff game against Sycamore.
Palandic has got to stop. Instead of rolling out, if he's going to throw the ball, he's going to have to stop before he gets outside, because his blockers have done a good job blocking the people outside, but he keeps on rolling in. All he's doing is rolling right into his blockers.
3rd and 10. It's the draw to McBain. Ball is loose, but he picks it back up. Falls on it at the 27. I wonder who got a hand in there. I think it was Novickas. Nope, it was 66, Brian McDonough. Somebody got a hand in there and stripped that ball free. Let's see if we can see it as we see it once more.
See on the replay.
It was McDonough, 66, who got a hand in there and knocked that ball free. So it's 4th down and 15, and Jim Casper is going to have to kick the ball back to Mount Carmel. It's been a while since Hinsdale has been at Mount Carmel's end of the field. With the ball is Darren Martin, number 45, and he gets it to midfield. The penalty marker goes down. May have a face mask, may have a late hit. All righty, we've got a break in the action right now. 3:02 to go in the first half. The score, Mount Carmel leading 6-0. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
You can depend on Wally when your horses need hay.
And big yields with XL 72 AA.
You can depend on this farm for some real fertile ground.
And XL 72 AA to dry down.
You can depend on Betty when you're out in the fields.
An XL 72 AA for big yields.
You get Yield Plus from DeKalb.
It's madcap merriment. It's crackpot cheer. It's holiday hilarity. It's Yogi's first Christmas. Yogi's back, and all his favorite pals, too, in a brand new television movie, Yogi's First Christmas. Don't miss it.
A special holiday presentation, the all-new Yogi's First Christmas, Friday night at 7 here on Channel 9.
Martin's run back. We had a clip called against Mount Carmel. That put the ball back 15 yards, and so the Caravan will take it over 1st and 10 at its own 35, and Mount Carmel holding on to a 6-0 lead. Time of possession so far in the ball game. Getting closer. The important statistic on the scoreboard is in favor of Mount Carmel. 1st and 10. Out of their power I formation, the pitch goes to Carter. He breaks free from one tackler, but can't break free from a couple more at the 35-yard line. Coming up to make the play was Savala, number 81, who's listed as a defensive back, but he came up and made the play, grabbed him by the shirt, slowed him down enough.
Well, that's what they did. They spread that play out, and that's what you have to do with Carter. You can't give him any opening running north and south because he'll put the move on you.
Savala played well off the block of Ortiz, number 40, who is the best blocker in the backfield for Mount Carmel. 2:27 to go, first half, 6-0 Caravan. They have the ball, 2nd and 10. It's a reverse to Martin, and he...
53 seconds left to go before the half, and Hinsdale South has the wind at their back.
Obviously, Sam Samorin, it would be important to see if Hinsdale South can get something on the scoreboard. Try to go into the locker room with maybe 3.
I would think they would come up with their screens and draws in this particular situation. And maybe drag an end down and cross underneath. Mount Carmel's linebackers, as we mentioned, do take a very, very deep drop. Get back in the hook zone very well.
They're dropping back again. The pass incomplete, in and out of the hands of Rob McKenzie, number 85. And I think that's got to be the 2nd or 3rd pass that has been in a receiver's hands for Hinsdale South, and they have not been able to gather it in.
We'll see it on the replay here. I think he hits him right on the money, right in the hands, right there.
Covering on the play was 38 strong safety Ed Barkowski, but had McKenzie been able to gather that ball in, I think he had the angle on him and may have been gone.
He had the angle and either would have been gone or gotten out of bounds to stop the clock.
Palandic not passing well, 2 of 7. It's now 2nd and 10, 37 seconds to go, 2nd quarter. Palandic dropping straight back. Throwing. It's deflected away, but it goes right back to one of the Hornets at the 35-yard line. It was batted away, but picked up by McKenzie. A more unbelievable and unusual play you may not ever see.
Well, I'll tell you, defensive back made a heck of a play on it to come in and break up the pass pattern. And I thought it was going to be knocked out of bounds. Or he knocks it down and right back into the hands.
Dave Ortiz is the man who knocked the ball away, but it went right into the arms of 85 Rob McKenzie. I don't think that was in Hinsdale South playbook.
No, I don't think of it. But I'm sure they're not going to turn it down. 28 seconds left to go in the quarter.
And I believe Hinsdale South's taking a timeout to stop the clock with 28 seconds left. It is 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. There is a bad break for Mount Carmel because they're the defensive player. Ortiz makes the key play.
He came
and
in.
It boomerangs.
He really came in and did. I thought the ball was going to go out of bounds, and as you said, McKenzie just standing there waiting for the ball.
You know, Hinsdale South impressed a lot of people, Coach, with their big win in the playoffs over Glenbard West, 37-9. Smith said they put it all together in that football game. There was a key play when Glenbard West had it. 2nd and 1 at the Hinsdale 3. The defense held, forcing only a field goal. But right now, the Hornets are on offense. Palandic throwing again, incomplete. Throwing a little bit too far ahead of McKenzie. At the 30-yard line, covering on the play, Rich Mosier, the linebacker. That stops the clock with 24 seconds to go and brings up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they tried to bring McKenzie underneath against the formation that time and on what we call a drag pattern, and he was just overthrown a little bit.
The Hornets lining up quickly. McBain, lone man in the backfield, in the slot. Is a fellow number 20. We'll check on that later. Gronowski. Correction. Palandic wide open. Complete at the 16-yard line to Ed Winkle.
Better get a timeout, boys. Better get a timeout.
Clock is stopped with 15 seconds. They've got to get the change down and get them set. It's a 1st down at the 17-yard line. We'll look at it again.
Okay, the timeout for Hinsdale. Here it is. Rolls out. How he got that wide open down there, I'll never know, but he was there.
Coming up to make the play was 45 free safety Darren Martin, but not after the Hornets have picked up a 1st down, and they are in striking distance. But the clock right now working against them. Only 15 seconds left. Ball at the 17-yard line of Mount Carmel. And, of course, the Hornets trying to get something on the board before they head into the locker room. Right now, it's 6-0 Mount Carmel. And also, should Hinsdale South score a touchdown, Mount Carmel's decision to go for 2 points on their touchdown may also play into this game, as Palandic talks it over with the brain trust of Hinsdale South.
I'm sure Dave Smith called upstairs here. He's on communication with his people upstairs. They'll probably run 2 plays unless the first one's incomplete. They got to get some points on the board, as you mentioned. Though the wind is at their back, so they can still kick a field goal if they do not complete a pass here on one of these 2 plays.
15 seconds ago, 1st and 10 from the 17. McBain, the lone man in the backfield, dropping straight back. Palandic throwing for the end zone, intercepted in the end zone on the 1-yard line by Mount Carmel. Picking off the pass. Is that Dave Ortiz? Yes, it is. The man who deflected the pass earlier, which went right to Hinsdale's McKenzie. Ortiz picks up his 3rd interception of the season. They went for it all, Coach, on the play.
They went for it all, and Dave Ortiz stepped right in front. Excellent defensive play. Actually, the ball could have been thrown a little bit deeper. He may have had a completion.
It was intended for Art Zavela, but again, Ortiz coming up with his 3rd interception of the season, giving the Caravan the ball on its own 20. But what matters the most is that they shut down Hinsdale South, who had been charging down the field. 8 seconds ago.
It's real tough on Hinsdale South in this particular situation. They did not come away with a score, and of course now you go in halftime 6-0.
And so we have reached the end of the first half of play. During halftime, Sam Samoan, we're going to have to talk about the psychology, the momentum, what happened there right at the tail end of the second quarter. Got to be disheartening and discouraging indeed for Hinsdale South, and encouraging for the defense and for the team, entire team from Mount Carmel, coming up with the key interception in the end zone with 15 seconds to go.
Well, as Dave Smith mentioned earlier, he thought the team who got the breaks would have the big advantage, and they did not really get any breaks in this ball game.
Down the field to Frank Bassoni.
Thank you very much, Tom, and we're with the head coach of Mount Carmel, Bill Bars. And Bill, things going pretty well.
Well, so far so good, but it's only 6-0. We have to play 24 more minutes of football. Both teams are playing very tough, aggressive defense at this point, and we're going to have to try to control the ball in the second half.
Your defense made a big play down here at the end.
They made a couple of them so far, Frank.
You bet. Tell us about your strategy in going for 2 points.
Well, we thought that when we were able to move the ball, we thought we might be able to punch a 2-point conversion in.
Good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you very much.
That's the head coach of Mount Carmel, whose team leads here. Now let's go back upstairs to Tom.
I remember Bill Bars when he was a graduate assistant coach at the University of Illinois when I was there. Came out of Notre Dame, went from there to North Park College. Well, we have reached halftime of an exciting ball game for the 5A battle, as it's Mount Carmel 6, Hinsdale South nothing. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Get the insurance man.
Wayne Carey?
No, he's lying.
Farmer and the Hilltoppers, who are the 2A champions. Greg did play linebacker at the University of Illinois, and he's got smiles for everything. Tom, Greg, congratulations. Talk about the achievement.
Well, I tell you, our kids just did a fantastic job this year, all year long. You can't say enough about them. They came out this year, and after a losing season last year, 3-6, they decided they were going to have a winning ball club this year, and they worked their tails off and all year long, and they won every different kind of game you could win. They came from behind in a couple games and won. They routed some people, played against a 6A ball club and beat them, and came out here yesterday and they played against a very, very good Amboy team and did what they had to do to win.
When did you think you had this kind of a team? What was your evaluation of your team at the start of this year?
Well, we knew we were going to have a good ball club. We had a good group of sophomores coming back and a solid nucleus of seniors, but we really didn't know we were going to be this good. And when we beat Danville, the 6A ball club, first game of the year, we knew we had a very good chance of winning the conference. And I really wasn't even sure we'd be able to win the whole thing until last week against East St. Louis. So, it took me a while to really come around to realize we were that good.
Fantastic. Talking about fantastic, there must be some fantastic smiles in Danville and Vermilion County.
I tell you, the people over there are great. Last night we got home and had about a 2-mile-long caravan of cars following us into town, and couple thousand people at the school, and everybody's very, very happy.
You deserve it. Congratulations, Greg.
Thank you very much.
Greg Colby, the head football coach at Danville Schlarman, the 2A champions, and we'll be back in just a moment. Now let's go back to Tom Stocker.
I can see what coaching has already done to Greg. I see a lot of gray hairs up there already. Talking with Liz Astroff, who puts a lot of time in as executive secretary of the Illinois High School Association. Well, as far as the first half scoring, 1 touchdown. Came on a 7-yard run by Andre Carter that made it 6-0. That was set up by a 23-yard run, an electrifying 23-yard run by Carter. First, let's take a look at how he scored that touchdown. And you talk about style, Coach Samora, you talk about grace, but he just gets the job done.
He gets the job done, but you look at those people up front putting the shoulder pad on somebody. Look at the size of that hole. I think you might even get through there, Tom.
I think I've just been cut.
No, I'm serious. They did an excellent job blocking on that form, out of that power I formation, and then he just stepped over one man, and that was it.
Andre Carter, the man, the bread and butter man from Mount Carmel, who has brought them with his running abilities. As we take a look now at the first half stats, Mount Carmel has done it completely by the ground. 104 yards rushing, zilch in the passing department. Hinsdale South, their 112 yards, pretty well evenly divided between the pass and the run. Hinsdale South leads in first downs. They have run 4 more plays. But look at the final stat there, Coach. I think that says quite a bit.
No question about that. Turnovers is a big thing, and that's where you lose that football. And, of course, the penalties also, I think, hurt Hinsdale South.
And we're listening to the number 72, Bill Pauls, number 88. Both players are deaf. However, Bill Pauls got key sacks on 4th down tries on the Hinsdale 17-yard line against Rockford West in the semifinals. Both times after those sacks, the Hornets drove 73 yards, capped by 2 Mike McBain touchdowns. Smith says traditionally this year we're bigger, and that wears the teams down in the end. May we see that as a possible factor if Hinsdale South can hold on to the football in the second half?
Well, I think that's going to be a pretty big if. And I think once you get this far, these teams are pretty well conditioned. They're all fired up for the football game, and I think old Mount Carmel's taking it right to them. I feel that if Mount Carmel is going to win, they're going to have to keep playing the same type of game that they have been, running right at Hinsdale, not trying to get too wide, but run right at them. Run their power off tackle from their power I formation, and I think that's going to be the key if Mount Carmel can keep on doing that.
We've just gotten halftime stats officially from the IHSA. As far as individual leaders, Andre Carter officially 11 carries, 60 yards. His longest gain was 26 yards. We had it as 23, but what's 3 yards between friends? But Ray Gronowski, 11 carries, 37 yards. His longest was 10 yards. They're the leading runners for Mount Carmel. Again, they haven't even tried to pass the football. Punting, Joe Malkowski has got 3 punts for an average of 27.7 yards. His longest punt has been 40. Leading tackler for Mount Carmel, Rich Mosier, who's got 4 solo tackles, 1 assist for 5. As far as Hinsdale South running department, McBain, 8 carries, 32 yards. Jim Casper, 5 carries, 18 yards. Palandick, 3 carries, -7 yards. Passing, Palandick is 4 of 12, 1 interception. He's passed for 59 yards. McKenzie's got a reception for 22 yards. Winkle a reception for 17. Casper a reception for 12. Casper's punting, 2 punts, 38 yards a punt. Leading tackler on defense for Hinsdale South, Mark Hollendonner, 4 solos, no assists with 4 tackles. That has the individual stats placed in order for the first half, and that should set things well pretty much now for the 3rd and 4th quarters of the ball game. All righty, we're at the very tail end of our halftime intermission, coming up the 3rd. Well, the Hornets of Hinsdale South have made their appearance back out of the locker room in preparation for the 3rd quarter. We're waiting now for the caravan of Mount Carmel to show up and get ready to get this 3rd and 4th quarters of this 5A title game underway. And going into the 3rd quarter, Hornets are down 6-0, and right now we're going to send it down to Frank Bissoni down on the field, who's going to talk with the Hornets head coach.
Dave Smith, the head coach. And Dave, what did you tell your squad at halftime?
Well, we got a little vocal. I think we've been moving the football, and we pretty much stopped it except for the one long run, but we've had too many mistakes. The interception, a couple fumbles, and we've just got to play better ball. We can't make the mistakes.
You look like you must be encouraged about the way your offense moved the ball at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, we moved the ball, and we stopped them, but we didn't get any points, and that's discouraging.
A lot of football to play, though.
I hope so.
Okay, Hinsdale South's head football coach. Now let's go back upstairs to Tom Stocker and Harold Samoria.
Those coaches, they don't waste any time in getting back to their team, and you can't blame them because this is so important. Coach Harold Samorian, we mentioned in our earlier telecast, but you took Glenbrook North to the 1974 IHSA Class 5A Championships. You had a playoff team this year.
Yes, we had.
This means so much to you, to the kids, to the school. You can't underscore that.
Well, you said I took them. The kids took us.
Okay.
And I'd like just to comment on the assistant coaches and so on, and the kids who play such an important part, particularly your assistant coaches. You delegate responsibility to them. They work as hard as what you do, and many times they don't get the recognition that they really should have. A fellow down there on the sideline by the name of Ed Puck, who's an assistant to Dave Smith. Ed's been coaching 20-some years, and Dave said, hey, if you say anything about assistants, he's #1 in our book. He was an assistant to Chuck Schrader. Chuck Schrader was at Hinsdale South before he went down to Ottawa and then went to DeKalb. And then Dave Smith took over after Chuck Schrader. But these assistants really deserve an awful lot of credit.
The assistants for Hinsdale South, as well as Ed Buck, Joe Iantria, and Jim Kerwin. And as far as for Mount Carmel, assisting Bill Bars, or Bill Rowan, Bill Moon, Leo Klidges, Dave Mutter, and Andy Livingston. And those guys put in a lot of work. In fact, when you talk about assistant coaches on the college level, like I work with down in the Southeast, for example, down in Alabama, it's the assistant coaches who run the team. Mo Bear Bryant just goes up and says, go ahead and take the ball down there and do that, and that's about it, you know.
You do it this way, and away you go.
Ready to start the third quarter. Hinsdale South in yellow over black. The Hornets, their nickname. The Caravan of Mount Carmel High School. They're calling it the Miracle on 64th Street. They're wearing brown over white. Caravan has a lead, 6-0. We saw in our first game, the 4A game, how important the first few minutes of the third quarter are. I think we're going to see that again in this ball game. Very well in the first minute, 2 or 3 of this third quarter. Hinsdale South will kick off from left to right.
Here again, we have another situation where the second half they're kicking off into the wind.
And it's Mike Kenney kicking it off. On the bounce it goes. It's finally picked up by Ed Barkowski. Hands it off to Martin. Martin is still on his feet, finally brought down as he is up across the 45 to the 48-yard line. And there's the kicking game playing into the role already.
Yes, there's no question about that. And that was a very, very smart play on his part, giving it to Carter. Or letting Carter handle that ball.
25 yards.
Excuse me, that was Martin on the return. But he was a defensive back, and he can certainly run that football.
And so the Caravan has it in great field position. Its own 47, 1st and 10. Quarterback Ray Gronowski hands it off to Andre Carter, number 26, and he drives his way into Hinsdale South territory before he's finally wrestled down by Jim Brown, number 89. And for Carter's first carry of the third quarter, he had 6 yards. He's now got 12 carries for 66 yards. Keep an eye on him. Barr says Carter is the difference between Mount Carmel being an average team and an outstanding team. As Carter gets the call again, he has the hole, has the block, and shoots his way deeper into Hinsdale South territory at about the 40-yard line. It's a first down.
They're taking it right to him, and that's what they have to do. Here's the replay again. You just see they're running that outside belly at him. They're driving down with the ends and kicking out with the 2 backs.
It's a first down number 7 for Mount Carmel. 10:43 to go. Straight ahead, the call goes to number 38, Ed Barkowski, listed as the number 2 fullback, 5'11", 180-pound senior.
Well, Hinsdale's been sitting in a 6-1 defense basically all year, or all this ball game, I should say, and they're hitting them right where it hurts, right off tackle, and then they can run one up the middle every now and then.
Barkowski is in for Ortiz, who I do not see in the lineup right now as the call goes to the corner. and he always seems to get an extra yard or two after it seems like he's been stopped. He gets another first down for Mount Carmel. The ball now inside the Hinsdale, just inside the Hinsdale South 30-yard line. And we're going to see Carter. He just keeps going, follows the blocking of Barkowski, 38.
Well, I'll tell you that right side of that offensive line from Mount Carmel is just blowing those people out. They're just running right at them. They're just running right at them.
The offensive line fired up. That offensive line, Ed Kurez, number 63 at left tackle. Tony Furjanic plays both ways. He's the left guard. Ardell McKenna is the center. He is number 56. And Brian McDonough, an all-conference selection, both ways at right guard. Right tackle, John Loncar, number 70. The tight ends, Brewster, 83, Cordes, 80. They don't know the meaning of the word, split end. They're a running ball club. And it's Carter.
Carter again.
He puts the shoulder down and gets his way to the 20-yard line.
They're not doing anything fancy. It's the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but now they're getting 6, 7, and cloud of plastic, as we said before. Is that what you get on this turf?
Well, since Mount Carmel has yet to throw a pass, I wonder if they feel like they've established the running game yet.
I think that they would have established it, and I would stay with it. I wouldn't put that thing up in the air.
8:56 to go. The clock is running. We're in the third quarter. Mount Carmel on the drive and has a 6-0 lead. It's Barkowski. And he goes to try to get the first down, but they're going to have to bring the chains in from across the way to see just if he made it. Linebacker Bob Rakowski, number 31. Left end Mark Holland-Donner, number 74, applying the stops, as well as a host of other yellow jerseyed Hornets.
I would say they're about a half an inch short, seeing that we're only about, 150 yards away from the ball. Our eagle eye. Oh, they got it by half an inch.
Yeah. I can tell you've been at this a couple of weeks or so, Coach. 8:43 to go. Another key first down for Mount Carmel. The caravan is on a caravan right now. They're on a convoy.
Yes, convoy with those big boys up front, and they're moving that football.
The call goes to Carter, but he is slowed up at the 20-yard line, falls ahead to about the 19 or 18. First man to meet him was Art Savella, number 81, a 6', even 175-pound senior. A man is down on the turf for Hinsdale South. Let's see if we can pick him up. We'll try to identify the down player for you. It's 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Mount Carmel with the ball and the lead. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. We are back at Hancock Stadium, Illinois State University, the Class 5A championship game. Mount Carmel with the ball and the lead. They lead 6-0, 8:20 to go, third quarter. It is 2nd and 10 from the Hinsdale South 19. Power I formation straight ahead is Gronowski. And he is down to about the 11.
I'll tell you, the middle of that offensive line, those two offensive guards, Furjanic and McDonough and McKenna, really moving that football. I'll tell you, those guys are key up front. Here they come again. Look at that offensive center go out after that linebacker.
That was the greatest block that McKenna had on a referee all day. Did you see that?
Not only going on that offensive line firing like that, but against Hinsdale South, like butting up against the San Gabriel Mountains.
Yeah. I know that, but there was nobody on McKenna. The only man who was there was the black and white striped jersey. 3rd and 2 from the 11. They give us to Carter. Again, he lowers the shoulder and gets first down yardage inside the 10.
Well, if they're going to get a first down, that's where you want them to have it, along about the 8 or 9 yard line.
It is a first down from Carmel. It is their 10th first down of the ball game. 1st and goal from the 9.
Coach, what you were saying there, indicating you don't want them to be able to get a first down around the 1 or the 2.
That's exactly right. If they're going to have that first down, make it down there.
You see the first down totals. Mount Carmel with 10, Hinsdale South with 8. The caravan moving the ball well. Every play has been on the ground. They haven't gone to the air yet. Penalty markers fly on this play. Gronowski never did anything with the football. Illegal procedure, the preliminary indication against the caravan.
You can't make that kind of mistake down in here, particularly not running that football.
If the Hornets accept the penalty, which they do, it's the 3rd penalty against Mount Carmel for 35 yards.
there's not a question of accepting the penalty when they
That's
blow the
true.
whistle, stop
That's
the
true.
play. It's a little bit different in college ball and the pro ball.
In high school,
as soon as that whistle blows, that's going to stop the play, and it's going to be an automatic penalty.
so it makes it 1st and goal from the 14-yard line. 7:05 to go, third quarter action at Illinois State University's Hancock Stadium. Carter is in the midst of yellow jerseys, and he still breaks free inside the 10.
He had to break at least 3 or 4 tackles on that play. He's got an awful lot of leg drive along with his quickness.
Watch it. The first man to get to him, I believe, is Hollandaner, number 74. He's joined by a whole mess of yellow jerseys. Look at that.
There's
also
one,
up there, yeah.
2, 3.
The linebacker Brown is in
moving.
there. 54, John Castens comes in there. Finally, 31, Bob Rakowski, the linebacker, comes in there. Gain of 4, 2nd and 10. Make it 2nd and goal from the 10 as Carter is drawing a lot of yellow all of a sudden. I think they finally decided that everybody's just going to go to number 26, but that could prove to be a dangerous assumption by the Hinsdale South defense.
Yes, it could, because I look right now, what I would look for Mount Carmel to do is Gronowski keep that football after faking to Carter.
Carter getting very near the 100-yard mark for the afternoon. The ball is spotted at the Hinsdale South 8. It is 3rd and goal from the Utes.
Gronowski's shown an ability to roll out with that football.
Sure.
You may see him roll out this time. The pitch goes to Carter. He's got blocking. Ortiz is out there. He cuts behind Ortiz, and he is over for the touchdown.
He is in there.
Touchdown, Mount Carmel.
They could not run the power-off tackle, so they came back with the sweep and allowed Carter to get out there where he had a little room to maneuver, and you saw the result.
Leading the blocking, Ortiz, number 40, who's back in the ball game. The power back, Gerard Sablich, number 3. Look at it again. You see, it's everybody going to that side but the coaches. And even they wouldn't mind blocking on that play.
Berjanik pulled out number 58. Their offensive left guard got an excellent block on the outside, and Carter did the rest.
His body right, huh? 8 yards, and there's another score.
2nd touchdown of the afternoon for Andre Carter. And for the year, that is now 17 touchdowns.
Well, they always go for 2 and after they miss 2 the first time.
And that's what they're going to do out of the power I formation. Brodowski cuts in. Is he in there? No indication.
I don't think so. I don't think he's in there.
Maybe a bit short. Nope, no good. Try for 2 points, no good, but with 5:44 to go in the third quarter, Mount Carmel now has got a 12-point lead. One of your network sponsors is Tougher Chemical Company. Quarter, about 5:44 to go, and Hinsdale South will get the ball back, and now they've got 12 points to make up. They're down 12-0 on the Chicago Mount Carmel scoring drive. 53 yards, 13 plays, taking 5 minutes and 56 seconds, culminating in Carter's 8-yard run.
Most points Hinsdale South's given up all year, 15 in a win at Darien against Glenbard East, 22-15.
Now, is that a box seat, guys? That's up at the north end of the end zone. It's in the stadium. That is seeing the game in style.
That style, first class, or whatever you want to call it. I'd certainly like to be there.
I would like to call it comfort.
As John Loncar boots it away, it's picked up by Mike Kenny, number 22. He ends it off on the reverse. And it's stacked up at the 18-yard line.
Well, Dave Smith pulled a little razzle-dazzle out that time and reversed on the kickoff. There was no wall on this side. Mount Carmel really got down the field. Here we see it again.
It goes to Jeff McBain, number 25. Waiting there, look at that, 88 Terry Van Arkel. And then all of a sudden it just closes up. 1st and 10, Hinsdale South at the Hornets' 19-yard line. Backs in a 9. Brodowski, make it Polandic, keeping it. On the option, he pulled it in and out of the belly of McBain on the option. And decided to keep it, gets across to the 21-yard line. Gain of 3, 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this has got to be a critical drive for Hinsdale South, gentlemen, because they're down by 12. They're down 2 touchdowns.
They're certainly going to have to get out of the hole here because with 4:49 left to go in this third quarter, they're going into the win, so they've got to get a couple first downs, get halfway decent field position.
Give on the draw to 44 McBain, and Mount Carmel doesn't give up much on it at all. McBain is down. McBain is down and hurt. McBain coming into the ball game as Hinsdale South's leading rusher. He rushed for 755 yards last year as a sophomore. This year, over 1,100 yards. And he is shaken up.
I think they call an injury timeout, so McBain is going to have to come out of the football game.
Going in there will be number 34, Ed Winkle. And there you see him limping noticeably.
If you recall, he had a sprained ankle in the first half, and here it is again.
Looks like he was trying to dive forward for extra yardage. He may have twisted the ankle again. 3rd and 8, Hinsdale South on the Hornet 21. Palandic rushed, throws behind Casper at the 25-yard line. A lot of pressure applied. Nose guard Marty Walsh, number 51. 43, left end Steve Eck. As Palandic saw nothing but Brown trying to find Casper, threw it behind him.
Well, Hinsdale's right guard took an awfully big split that time, a good yard to yard and a half, and Walt shot through there.
It's 4th down, and Hinsdale South doesn't want to do it, but it's going to have to punt that football away. Casper, low line drive, rolling at the 40 to the 49, and that's where it's down. Mount Carmel, excellent field position.
Good kick into the wind that time. But still gives Mount Carmel excellent field position, as you mentioned, in Hinsdale South territory. If they get one here with the wind, they're going to have a tough time, I think.
That was really good pass rush that last time by Mount Carmel, and they've really got the ball in good shape.
1st and 10 Caravan. Hinsdale South 49-yard line. Whistle blows, no play. Flags fly, and we'll see just what it was. And it's illegal procedure against Mount Carmel. The 4th penalty against the Caravan. They've been penalized for 40 yards. As we have 3:56 to go. I'm Tom Stalker, along with Frank Pisoni and Sam Samorian of Glenbrook North. You see the penalty situation right now. Right there, Mount Carmel 40 yards. Hinsdale South been penalized twice for a total of 20 yards. This is the 5A championship battle. Right now, things are looking very good for the Caravan of Mount Carmel. But Hinsdale South, when they get the ball back, they have the kind of offense that can be explosive. They have the options. They have the sweeps in their offense. They could pull it off. They're not out of it by any means. 1st and 15 from their own 47. Gronowski keeps it, goes down the sidelines, runs into Art Zavala, and he bumps him out of bounds in Hinsdale South territory at the 49. A quarterback who is not afraid to get hit.
We'll see on the replay here. I thought this was what they would do down on the goal line because he is certainly a good running quarterback.
You see Ortiz, number 40, up there trying to block, but a good play defensively by Sevilla. 3:06 to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 11 from the Hornet 49. Gronowski on the long count, gives to Carter, big hole. He's going inside the 40, still going inside the 30, twists and turns his way down to the 25-yard line. And give a lot of credit to Ortiz, leading the blocking stride for stride with Carter. What a move.
I'll tell you, they're beating right on the line of scrimmage again. Here we see it again. You see that they get a good half step coming off the line of scrimmage, and look at that hole.
Perjanik, 58. Curas, 63. There's Ortiz. Leading the blocking is the tight end, Cordes, number 80.
Darrell Royal used to say you dance with who brung you. Oh. Andre Carter can really bring him.
And he's bringing it again, trying to turn the corner. He does so. 20, 15, run out of bounds at the 14-yard line by John Brown, number 66. And this is rapidly becoming the Andre Carter show.
Well, Andre has shown that he can run inside, he can run outside, and he's certainly had some excellent blocking up front, but he's done a lot of work on his own.
Well, a long time ago, Mr. Carter cracked the 100-yard mark, and we're hopefully going to have a stat for you real quickly to show you just what he has done so far this ball game. Number 26 with 22 carries, 130 yards unofficially. And we still got some 14 minutes left to go in the entire ball game. That is number 38, fullback Ed Barkowski. Tries to battle for a couple of yards as it was a first down for Mount Carmel. That was their 12th first down so far of the afternoon. I should say now evening, since
Tom, the all-time top title game rushing performance. Jerry Jones of Decatur St. Teresa, an amazing 250 yards.
Look at how Mount Carmel has dominated so far in the third quarter. 17 plays to 4 for Hinsdale South. Here comes number 18 with just under 2 minutes to go. It's Andre Carter for the 10-yard line. On the tackle, 68, Brian Luxmore. And we're going to see some more poetry in motion. He's really not a stylish runner. He just runs through guys.
Just gets the job done, that's all.
According to the IHSA record book, that's the most yard gain in a championship 5A game. Previous record 114 by Jim Benedetto of Franklin Park, East Leiden in '77.
Let's see what Gronowski calls on 3rd and 5. It's the pitch to Carter. He is all alone against several yellow jerseys, and he cannot turn the corner as he is strung out and brought down at about the 10-yard line, far side of the field, bringing up a 4th down.
We got a key play here again. I think he'll probably go for the field goal because that would force Hinsdale to come up with 2 scores, and it would force them to go for 2 on both of the 2 scores if they did score.
Let's see how Hinsdale South stacks up Carter here. He tries to cut behind his block, decides not to, and go around him. By that time, the Hornets have played off their blocks and gotten him at about the 10. So 136 yards so far unofficially for Carter.
Here we go. We're going to have a field goal attempt.
Coming in, number 7, Jim Sherlock. Sherlock will attempt a field goal. It looks like it's going to be about a 26-yard attempt that comes from the 16-yard line. 16 yards.
If it's successful, of Coach, as Coach Samorian points out, it negates 2 field goals and kicking extra points by the opponents.
Jim Sherlock, his father Jim played varsity football for Carmel in '59. He's currently a Big Ten football official. A 26-yard attempt that's up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it's dead.
Got it. He buried that thing. He buried it.
It is good, and Mount Carmel has taken a commanding lead with 46 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It's the Caravan 15, Hinsdale South nothing. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research. Jim Sherlock has given Mount Carmel a commanding 15-0 lead, forcing Hinsdale South, if they're going to get back in this ballgame, to go for 2 touchdowns. There you see the scoring drive as they went 43 yards in 7 plays, going 4 minutes and 2 seconds, culminating on Sherlock's field goal. 15-0 Mount Carmel, and it's do or die time.
Yes, sir. The other very, very important factor is that Mount Carmel is kicking off with the wind again. They have 46 seconds left to go in this quarter, and there might be a possibility, if they use their timeout right, to force Hinsdale to kick back into the wind again.
And with the wind, it goes all the way to the 5-yard line, and Casper to the 15, 20, up to the 25, where he's met and dropped at the 26-yard line.
Excellent coverage by Mount Carmel again. They stayed in their zones or lanes coming down the field, and they just negated all the blockers.
Let's watch talented Jim Casper. He was the number 2 quarterback, came in at times to actually be the quarterback when Palaniuk had some rough going during the regular season. He is now the regular tailback and is dangerous on the option play. Let's see with 29 seconds in the third quarter. Hinsdale South, it goes to Casper. He is tripped up at the 25-yard line, coming through to make the play. 38, Ed Bartkowski, the starting strong safety. 5'11", 180-pound senior, came into the ball game with 44 tackles. You know, I tell you what, Mount Carmel did a lot of work in preparing for us here in the media. I want to show you some of the things that they came out of their brochure here. It's a family affair at Mount Carmel. Tony Furjanic, he's had 5 brothers who attended Mount Carmel. 2 played football. John Loncar, his father played football in '55. Marty Walsh, his father played football at Carmel. Jim Sherlock, Don Amble. It's a family affair football at Mount Carmel High School there on the south side. They call it the Miracle on 64th Street. It's Hinsdale South's ball, 2nd and 9. The call goes to McBain. He rams his way up to the 30-yard line. Finally stopped by Mike Vinatursky, 75. Also coming up, Mike Novickus, number 33.
Give McBain a lot of credit, gentlemen. He's been banged around a couple of times, and he keeps coming back in there and doing his job.
And we have reached the end of 3 quarters of play here at Hancock Stadium. With 1 quarter to go. From the south side of Chicago, Mount Carmel has got a 15-0 lead. Wintergreen Network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Forget tonight at 7 o'clock, Chicago Gordon Tech Rams against Burbank Revis for the 6A title.
There you see time of possession one-sided, lopsidedly for Mount Carmel. The pitch goes to McBain to the 30 and puts his shoulder down and gets extra yardage up to the 34 before he's finally dragged down by Ed Barkowski.
Well, McBain got up. He's limping again. He's certainly taking a licking out there today.
It's going to take a derrick to get him out of there,
Yes, sir.
though, I guarantee you. He is that kind of a kid, and he is only a junior.
Hinsdale South is going to punt the football away. They got to have a break here. Let's see if they can punt that thing down deep in the territory of Mount Carmel. They got to hope for a fumble.
The wind is behind Casper as he gets the boot away. Darren Martin, 45, watch the ball go by. There's
roll,
the
boys.
break you're talking about. It rolls to the 10.
Inside the 10.
And it's still going. I think the wind's blowing the football downfield. I think it's blowing the football. Finally, they down it on the 5-yard line. That's what you're talking about. Maybe out of the exchange of punts now.
On the exchange of punts, or if they can force Mount Carmel to fumble down in there.
And remember this, by the rules, 2 scores by Hinsdale South and 2 extra 2-point conversions, and they've got the lead, so it's certainly not impossible.
There's
62
Mr. Yes.
yards.
62 yards. Like my drives, though, a lot of roll.
A lot of roll. They all count. I'll tell you, it looks good in the record book.
It'll be interesting here, excuse me, Tom, to see how conservative that Mount Carmel gets on offense. They're pinned back down, and of course it behooves South to hold them here.
Well, so far, Mount Carmel has yet to throw a pass, and I doubt if they're going to start right now as the call goes straight ahead inside. I believe it's to Carter. I've not been able to see his number, but that's who it is. Call went to Carter. You know, Carter missed over 2 games this year with an injury, with a hamstring-related injury. He suffered it on the 5-yard line of an exciting 95-yard run against Joliet Catholic. He missed the Weber game, which Mount Carmel won 13-0, but he also missed the game in which Loyola Academy knocked off the Caravan 7-6. So you take over 2 games out of his stats. Carter came in with 1,067 yards. Give him at least 80 a game. You're talking about 1,300 yards. Carter already this afternoon unofficially has 140 yards in 25 carries. On 2nd and 7, it's Gronowski. He breaks a tackle. He's still going at the 20. He's finally run down and dragged down from behind at the 28-yard line. Number 66, John Brown, the man that finally stopped that play.
That got Carmel out of the hole, but I think there's a flag down the play. I think it's going to be a clipping on the outside.
You got it.
Yep. That's going to negate a fine play by Gronowski as we take a look at it. You know, the man would probably make a fine running back for somebody.
No question about that with that size, and he's got excellent speed and balance. I'm amazed at the balance that he and Carter have running the football. Here's another break for Hinsdale South now because that's going to set them back.
We've now got 10 minutes, 11 seconds left to go on the ball game. 15-0 Mount Carmel as the ball is brought back to the 10-yard line.
Half the distance to the goal line down
It's
there.
half the distance.
And this brings up a 3rd and 6.
No,
check it. That's with the down. The second.
Should be second,
yeah,
because they replay the down. They're going after Andre now. They're going after him down in there.
Well, that's the only chance Hinsdale South right now has. They've got to try to get that football. They've got to go and try to rip that ball free while Mount Carmel is deep in its own territory.
Pretty big play now for the Hinsdale South defense.
And remember that if the defense can hold Mount Carmel here, force a punt, Mount Carmel's going to go into that wind. And folks, I know we keep talking about it, but that is without a doubt the single most factor as far as outside the players themselves in this ball game. You see Carter, 141 yards on the afternoon, and whistle blows, penalty flags fly, and that play is not going to count for anything. 9:13 to go on the ball game.
Going to put them back another 5 yards. So now they got 3rd and 10.
Mount Carmel is not helping itself one bit.
No. This is the place you don't want to make mistakes, inside those 10-yard lines.
Now, realistically, you can't expect them to punt the ball very far out of their own end zone against this breeze, and at the worst, Hinsdale should be in great field position.
Penalties in the contest. Mount Carmel unofficially penalized 6 times, 45 yards to Hinsdale South's 2 times for 20 yards. It is 3rd down 11, back on the Caravan 5. Gronowski shows a pass. He's right in the end zone.
Safety.
The first time.
Got to be a safety. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now they have to kick off into the wind along with this. There's that 2 points we were talking about. Now they can come ahead. They scored twice and kick 1 extra point. Hey, gentlemen. Whole new game.
Take a look at this. Gronowski's going to throw it here, and look out.
Oh, I think he wanted to run the quarterback draw like he ran it before, and I think he just got a little bit too deep in running the quarterback draw.
The man who made the sack in the end zone, number 88, Bill Pauls, who has come up time and time again to make key defensive sacks for Hinsdale South. He's one of their 2 talented
and you know
tackles.
something, he probably can't hear this Hinsdale crowd because he's a hearing impaired young man. But I'll tell you, what courage he's showing out there today.
Interesting, the very first time that it appeared like Mount Carmel seriously showed pass. Seriously showed it, and they show it so deep in their end zone. They didn't play conservative. And so now it is a 15-2 ball game.
Now Mount Carmel must kick off, and of course after a safety you can use a punt or a kickoff off the tee, either one. I think they're probably going to use the tee to keep the ball down, because if you get that ball up into the wind, it's not going to go very far. Now this ball, just like a kickoff, if it goes 10 yards, it becomes a free ball or a live ball. And some teams stand around and watch that ball roll, and if they do, they have to be assured that it is a live ball after it goes 10 yards.
It'll be Ardell McKenna, number 56, who will do the kicking off charge as the ball blows off the kicking tee. We've got 8:57 to go. This ball game is not by any means over yet. 15-2, Mount Carmel leads. Hinsdale has shown that their defense can win football games too.
Yes, sir.
It usually does, in fact, when you really get down to it.
If they don't score,
Low, bouncing knuckleball down the field. It's scooped up at the 45, straight ahead. A brief moment of daylight for Hinsdale South's number 22, Mike Kinney, but it closed up quickly, but he is in great field position, and what a turn of events we have right now.
Just for a hot moment, I thought he was going to break that thing.
Yes, sir. And 1 first down, gentlemen, 1 first down, and that'll put them in 4 down territory. Not that they wouldn't go for it on 4th down anyway, but then they'll be in 4 down territory.
Mount Carmel has only given up 250 yards average in total offense. As you see the pass, Paladic complete to Art Zavala. And he's out of bounds inside the 30-yard line, and the Hornets are alive and well and doing good in Bloomington.
Very well executed play. Here we see it on the replay again. What you're going to see, the deep man was wide open, who they tried to hit before. This time they pulled an end across underneath, and he was wide open.
13 yards on the play, the first reception to Zavala. And even then, looked like for a hot moment, like Zavala was not going to be able to hold on. We saw several of those in the first half for Hinsdale South, where the receivers were not able to hold on to the football. 1st and 10 on the Caravan 29 for Hinsdale. 8.5 minutes to go in the ballgame. They're down 15-2. Paladic has time, gets it underway. It is incomplete at the 25-yard line, broken up by Rich Mosier, the linebacker, intended for Jeff McBain, number 25.
We'd like to welcome all the fans watching along the line as you watch the replay. The stations are WICD in Champaign, WRIU in Peoria, KHQA in Quincy, WIFR TV in Rockford, WHBF in Rock Island, WICS in Springfield, and WGN Television in Chicago.
What was that station in Champaign again? Just want to say hi to all the old friends back at WICD in Champaign. Enjoyed my 2 years there immensely. 8:23 to go. Lone man in the backfield is McBain as Paladic rolls out. He's rushed. Pass is either intercepted or incomplete.
Should be incomplete. He intercepted the ball out of bounds.
Rich Mosier again on the play. The pass intended for Kevin Reardon, number 33, the tailback, as all of a sudden what looked like good protection for Palandic quickly disintegrated. Coming in, 51, Marty Walsh. 78, Mike Maloney, the right tackle. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 8:17 to go. It's a 3rd down and 10 situation for Hinsdale South. What will they pull out of their bag of tricks on 3rd and long?
Well, with the pressure that they're getting, I'd like to see a little screen pass in here.
And you can figure they'll have 2 downs to get this 10.
Palandic rolling out to the near side of the field, puts it up. It is complete to Zavala, and he is down at the 12-yard line.
He's come through. He has made some fine catches out there.
He is their leading receiver for the Hornets, and he has gotten a key reception at the 11, making the 12-yard line. He had 2 men split out to that side. He rolled to the wide side of the field.
Tough to make the pass from here. Look how well he throws it.
Yes, sir. He throws that ball very well. He gets that ball up high in the shoulder as he's rolling to his left, throwing back to his right.
On the play, 16 yards, Zavala, 2 receptions for 29 yards. 1st and 10 at the 12 as Palandic throws again, incomplete, and I thought we were going to see a penalty marker.
I thought we were too.
On Ed Barkowski, number 38, who really shoved Jeff McBain down from behind, and I thought the ball had not yet gotten there, but
he may have been knocked down before the ball was released. That might be a possibility.
So Hinsdale South, which has shown good ability to throw the football in the playoffs, is living right now on the pass, living through the air.
And Tom Stocker, they can make a 1st down without a touchdown.
2nd and 10 from the 12 on the draw. It's McBain. He is still on his feet.
Look at him go for that yardage.
Line. Oh,
it's going to be 3rd down, 3rd and about, I would say 3rd and about 2. They could still get a 1st down. Here we go.
It's going to be closer to 1, Coach. Watch this.
We have watched Carter Star all afternoon. We have been waiting for McBain to pop a couple, and he has done one right there. It's on, not exactly on the yard line. It's in between the 3 and the 4, as they're going to call it 3rd and 1 on the 3. 7:11 to go in the game. Palandic gives him McBain. He's hit immediately. He falls forward. And we're going to wait and see if they give him the 1st down on that 3rd down play. It is a 1st down. 7 minutes exactly left to go.
That time, Mount Carmel did not go into a goal line defense. They stayed in their 5-2 defense down in there, which kind of surprised me a little bit.
So spot the ball on the Carmel 1-yard line.
Now they're going in their goal line defense.
All look back now to that draw or option play by Mount Carmel deep in its own territory. 1st downs, Mount Carmel with 13. Hinsdale South rapidly building them up. It's 1st and goal from the 2. They give the Casper, bumps his head against the tackler, goes over for the touchdown.
Brand new time.
Yes, sir. Excellent faking in the backfield that time. We had excellent faking because they sent McBain over right guard, and then Casper came back over the left guard.
So the news of the death of Hinsdale South were greatly exaggerated. Hinsdale South is alive and well.
You see the big fake to McBain over there, and he was well met at the line of scrimmage, and they just came back and hand off.
And the Hornets are going to go for 2 as they split Ed Winkle wide to the far side of the field. McBain and Casper are the I-backs behind Palandic. A crucial try for 2. Fake the draw, fake the pass, screen pass to Casper. He's got it.
He's home. Be in there. Excellent call. Excellent play.
And so we have got ourselves a wing-ding of a ball game at Illinois State in Normal. 6:31 to go in the ball game. It's a 15-10 game. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company.
Quackgrass. Wild cane. Eradicane in combinations controls the tough yield-robbing weeds in corn. Nutsedge. Velvet leaf. Eradicane controls these and other tough weeds in corn. That's right. Even the toughest ones, like quackgrass. Eradicane for the toughest weeds in corn.
It's very clever how your new V6 Pontiac Grand Prix Brougham gets the same EPA mileage rating as our Datsun 280ZX for a price that's over $1,600 less. But how can your Grand Prix seat 6 people so comfortably and still get the same mileage rating? Pontiac must have something we don't.
Know-how.
We have got ourselves a football game thanks to a 57-yard scoring drive by Hinsdale South in 8 plays, taking just over 2 minutes, culminated by Casper's 2-yard run. It is 15-10. Mount Carmel is still leading, but
Mount Carmel was looking for an onside kick. Instead, they scribbed it down in there.
That is Martin, and he's up to the 35. Well, we thought maybe that the Hinsdale South Hornets would kick it off long, maybe out of the end zone, try to pin the Caravan deep in their own territory. Instead, they kick it just over the line. We have an injured player on the field, and the Caravan has the ball in good field position at the 35. There is Martin's return for 13 yards. The down man is number 66, John Brown, who plays linebacker.
Hinsdale cannot afford to lose Braun at this time because he's one of their outside linebackers. He does a tremendous job in there.
6 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the ball game. 15-10 the score. Just a few moments ago, gentlemen, we were talking about a possible Mount Carmel rout. They were ahead 15-0. Then it was 15-2. And we got to go back to that key safety, Bill Pauls, defensive tackle for Hinsdale South, dropping Gronowski in the end zone for the first 2 points for the Hornets.
Braun looks like he's all right, shaken up some, but he's walking off the field under his own steam. And that's good news for the Hornets.
But don't forget, the Caravan has a running back by the name of Andre Carter, who could break this game back open for the Caravan.
Yes, sir. The ball game is not over yet, gentlemen. I'll tell you that, because all it takes is one run.
1st and 10 from the Caravan 35. The give. Nope. Keeping it is the quarterback, Gronowski. He is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Number 81, Art Zavala, in to make the stop, assisted by Bill McHugh, number 72.
The Hornets are swarming today, I'll tell you that. Look at them go after that ball carrier.
Coach, it may be the time to use that word momentum again, because Hinsdale South really fired up.
Big Mo is with them. That's right. Big Mo is really with Hinsdale South.
Mark Hollendonner, the defensive lineman, also in there on the stop. 74. 6:06 to go. The clock becoming increasingly important. If the Hinsdale South defense can hold Mount Carmel, they can maybe get the ball back and put together a 6-point touchdown and a victory. Possibly. That's the situation right now, as it is 2nd and 10. Caravan at their own 35. Power I right formation. It's Carter, but he has no room at all in what yardage he gets. He gets on his own effort alone as he is stacked up 31. Bob Rakowski, the linebacker, in there to make the stop. And once again, Carter gets the call. But right now, we saw on the last drive for Mount Carmel that Hinsdale South was keying on Carter. They're doing it again. And that defense is starting to shut down Carter, who has 144 yards. But his last 2 attempts, his last 2 carries have gone for a total of 4 yards.
They need 7. Didn't get it.
And so it's going to be 4th down for Mount Carmel. The Hinsdale fans down below us are fired up. Their defense has held the Caravan, and they're going to force a punt. We think a punt. Gronowski. The blocks just don't hold. And he is dropped. A 4th and 8 at the 37. That's the situation.
Well, I have to think they're going to go for the punt block on that, because you're not going to get too long a kick to start out with, so you might as well go try blocking, because they got to kick into the wind.
Back is number 90, Joe Malkowski. They come at him, but he gets it away in time. Fair catch call for Hinsdale South will take it over at its own 39-yard line. Art Zavala, the man to make the fair catch. and listen to those Hornet fans down below us.
4 minutes and 19 seconds left. There's plenty of time to move that football the way they started moving it when they got the wind at their back.
Field goal does them no good, but a touchdown puts them into the lead without an extra point. They're down 5.
Coach Zamora, you're in the title game. You can play with effort, you can play with ability. What does emotion do now?
Emotion is everything right now. I'll tell you, I'm even excited up here. I'm not even involved with either team, but boy, I'm excited. I'll tell you, this is one heck of a football game.
4:19 to go. The Hornets start this drive from their own 39-yard line. As Palandic puts it up, he throws long on the sidelines, incomplete, intended for McBain on the near side. The man back on the coverage, free safety Darren Martin, number 45. And what do you think Hinsdale South was trying to do on that play?
Well, I think they would just get it all at one time instead of putting us in suspense. They were going to get 6 right away.
Tom, this game has been a little bit like water over a flame. You know, the boiling has now started here late. It was slow starting, but I'll tell you what, it's really exciting out here now with 4:12 left.
These Hornet fans down below us are really boiling. I'll tell you, they're up on every play cheering those kids on.
4:12 to go. It's 2nd and 10 Hornets. They fake the draw, fake the pass. It goes to McBain to the 40, 45, hops over a tackle, still going into Mount Carmel territory inside the 45 to the 43-yard line, and now Mr. McBain is taking over the ball game.
You talk about exciting runners. We see two of them here today, boy. I'll tell you, Carter and McBain. We'll watch it again on the replay. Fake the screen that way, fake the draw, fake the screen, and come back. They
there you see McBain.
They run that play to both sides with equal effectiveness.
You see the move he put on for Janik, number 58?
And Mount Carmel's not playing bad defense. They're just executing. The Hornets are right now.
John Brown of Hinsdale South sustained a scraped knee a little bit earlier. He's be back in the ball game. He's wearing number 66. But it is 1st and 10. Hornets fumble on the snap, picking it up. A fumble. The Caravan says it has it. Their officials agree. It is Caravan football and a crucial turnover for Hinsdale South at the Mount Carmel 43-yard line. Ed Barkowski, number 38, the man to pick up the football.
Let's take a look at this one carefully. Oh, it fumbled once there.
He never really had it put away. And it pops free the moment he was hit. And Mr. Barkowski was in the right place at the right time. And holy moly, the turnover looms large in this football game right now. The 31st fumble caused by the Mount Carmel defense. The Caravan takes it over 1st and 10 at its own 44. And let's see what Carter can do. It's becoming a battle between Carter and McBain. It's Carter on the call. Spins his way up to the 50-yard line. Finally stopped by 54, John Caston.
Carter is down.
Carter is down. Remember, he missed just a little bit over 2 games earlier in the season with hamstring. And he may have...
Looks like the same thing.
Either a hamstring or a cramp. 28 carries, 150 yards unofficially for Carter, but he is on the turf right now at Hancock Stadium. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left to go. The score, Mount Carmel leads by the score of 15-10. Let's take a look and see if we can spot what happens to Carter. He spins, hit right on the knee by 31, Rakowski.
Carter's up and running off the field, so I think he's going to be okay. He's only got 3 minutes left to play in this ball game. If he has that much, they're going to work on him on the sideline, and I'm sure if he's physically able, he'll be back in the game.
He's averaged 5 yards a pop all day long, and he's had it a bunch of times, 28.
3:02 to go.
Like the coach said, there's no tomorrow. You might as well get it all today, you know. You can sit a long time in the whirlpool next week.
2nd and 5 from the 49. Caravan with their power eye backfield. Straight ahead to Barkowski. And he gets just about 1 or 2 yards.
Flag.
Barely getting into Hinsdale South territory, but it looks like a holding call on Mount Carmel.
Here's a decision you're going to make. You're going to take the 15. I would certainly take the 15 and give them that extra down, because that puts them farther back toward that goal line, because they got to kick into the wind now if they're going to kick again. And I think the way Hinsdale's playing, they can move the football.
Mount Carmel's been penalized quite a bit, as you can see, 7 times for 60 yards. South has been penalized twice for 20.
It is second down and a bunch. Second and 18. There you take a look at a very interesting stat. Mount Carmel has not thrown a pass the entire game. The one time it looked like they were going to pass, Brodowski was sacked in the end zone for a safety, and that started things going for Hinsdale South. As Carter gets the call, and he gets a couple, but not much at all, up to the 35. Bill McHugh, the left tackle, number 72 on the stop. Again, McHugh, 13 solo tackles, 3 different occasions this season.
Dave Smith now really has to start looking at the clock and watching his timeout, because the clock is a very, very important factor now.
Just under 2 minutes. To be exact, we've got 1:55. The clock is running. The ball is at the Mount Carmel 36. It is 3rd and 17. The call goes to Marty Casper, second-string tailback who plays behind Andre Carter coming into the action tonight. Marty Casper had only carried the ball 73 times
Here we
for
come with the
442
timeout.
yards.
Here we come with the timeout. I think that's a good call on Dave's part.
So we have a timeout on the field. Don't leave us yet, folks. We've got 1:32 to go, and a lot could happen in that amount of time. Score 15-10. Mount Carmel leads. One of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance. It's 4th and 15, and Mount Carmel's going to punt it away.
They're going to go after that football. They're going to go after it. Here they are.
Joe Malkowski better have his life insurance paid up, because they're going to be coming at him. There they come, but he gets it away. That is number 34, Ed Winkle. The ball is free, and I think Mount Carmel has it back. The Caravan recovers at the Hinsdale South 28-yard line. Winkle fielded it on a bounce, never seemed to have possession. By the time he touched it the second time, he was popped and popped hard. We're going to take a look at this one again. See, he had trouble controlling it. By the time it was loose and free, it was knocked around. He was knocked off the ball. And Mount Carmel has got it. Tony Furjanic has got the recovery, number 58. And it's heartbreaking. There you see maybe the stat of the ball game, Coach Samorian.
Yes, sir. 4 turnovers by Hinsdale South.
Remember at the top of the broadcast, they talked about mistakes and breaks, and there's 4 turnovers.
And gentlemen, as I mentioned before, the punt, I think, is the most important play in the game. And as we proved out there, we fumble a punt. You can get the punt block. You can run the punt back. All those things can happen in a punting situation.
On the regular season, in the one loss to Willowbrook, Hinsdale South fumbled the ball 6 times in the game. They lost that game with a score of 13-6. Palandic fumbled in the end zone after apparently scoring a touchdown. It was recovered. Willowbrook's Kurt Meissner. Meissner also scooped up another Palandic fumble and ran 18 yards for a touchdown for a 13-0 Willowbrook lead back then. Now, in another game, the Hornets won another game despite having 6 turnovers. That was the game against Addison Trail, where the Hornets defeated Addison Trail in the 5th game 16-7. In that game, the Hornets had 6 turnovers. So that has probably been the one thing Dave Smith would want to take care of and would worry him coming into this ball game, and that has been the crucial statistic so far. And oh, you got to feel for Dave Smith and the Hornets. They've also got to be happy on the other side for the Caravan getting the key break when they have to have it. That has been the story of the Mount Carmel team all year. They've taken advantage of the breaks, and that's the story of just about any championship team. Very big role played in the successful season of Mount Carmel. Last time they had success at Mount Carmel, 1967, the city champions. Back then, the Chicago Tribune called them the Notre Dame of high school football in Chicago, as Bronowski just takes it straight ahead. Do you see the clock up in the corner? Stop with 49 seconds. Oh, we just got a bad report on John Brown. Torn ligament in his right knee. And we are sorry to hear of that for John Brown.
sorry to hear of any injury to any young man, but certainly as much as that young man has played today, played his heart out like all these kids have, and hate to see him get hurt his last high school football game.
There you see the timeouts remaining. Hinsdale South cannot stop the clock. They are on defense. And I would think it would be safe to assume that since Mount Carmel has not thrown a pass all day, I don't think they're ever about to throw one right now.
I don't think they're going to put that ball in the air, and Hinsdale still might get the ball back again. It's a distinct possibility.
49 seconds left to go in the game. You see Dave Smith and his assistant coaches trying to yell encouragement to the Hornets, saying it's not over yet. Things can still happen, and certainly they can.
Dave is down there. He's getting his offense ready right now because they'll have 30 seconds after this play to start down number 4.
Everybody's going to be in tight. The power I backfield. Carter, by the way, is out of the game. As it's a keep by Gronowski, and he tumbles his way down to the 24.
See the clock melting down under 40 seconds.
Watch the referee. As soon as he marks that ball, now they're ready for play. We'll see how much time is left on that clock. 34 seconds.
Well, they're going to have to get probably a playoff or take a 5-yard delay.
Take a 5-yard penalty and run the play, and by that time, all the clock will be used.
Well, you know, if we were forced to select an MVP for this game, it'd be a tough choice between Gronowski, McBain, and Carter. And we don't have to, fortunately, but I'm just throwing it up for conjecture. That's how valuable those 3 players have been to their teams. The clock winding down. 7, 6, and there you see Mount Carmel taking the 5-yard delay of game, but it doesn't matter at all. And just beyond our camera range on the far sidelines, you can see the student body of Mount Carmel. I think just about everybody is down there from 64th Street, ready to celebrate a state championship in 5A. And my heartfelt thanks to, I should say my heartfelt congratulations to an old friend, Bill Barnes.
1,806 boys at Mount Carmel, and 64th and South Dante is where that trophy's going. And the brown and gold and white are going to take home the state 5A championship, to be the 2nd state champion crowned today, and one more game this evening for the 6A title.
Mount Carmel High School, 81 years old. And an interesting note, there's a huge sign in their student center, gives the school motto. You came to Carmel as a boy. If you care to struggle and work at it, you will leave as a man. Rather interesting words, especially in light of a state champion.
Hey, you notice something right now? Hinsdale has put their offense back in, because if Mount Carmel does not get the first down, in other words, if they get down, you still can turn the ball over. You get 1 play out of it, maybe 2.
A gutty.
1 and maybe 2.
A gutty comeback performance by Hinsdale South this afternoon. Give them 110,000% credit. They played well this afternoon. Gronowski on the
game is over.
2, 1. He's out of bounds, but it's all over. The caravan of Mount Carmel, you see the storm across the field as Mount Carmel is the Class 5A state champions in the state of Illinois. 15-10, the final score. And our congratulations to everybody at that fine high school head coach Bill Barnes and his fine football team. The miracle on 64th Street has indeed come true for that high school. And our congratulations to Hinsdale South. Last week, their soccer team finished 2nd in the state, a 2nd place finish in 5A. Nothing to sneeze at, because there's a lot of teams who are back home watching this on television.
No question about that. Both these teams are well coached. Kids really put out. There's no question about that. It was just one fine football game, and it's too bad that someone has to lose someplace along the line.
588 teams were eligible to start this whole thing. 96 started the playoffs. Now there's 2 left for the 6A title after 2 champions crowned today. Burbank Revis, Chicago Gordon Tech. That comes at 7.
You got it. That's our next telecast to be seen on some of these network stations.